If you've heard the term Daily 5 and you've been wondering what the heck it is, then you're in the right place today. Consider this video the ultimate guide, what every teacher needs to know about the Daily 5. Hi, I'm Molly, and I help teachers just like you streamline your literacy block so you can get to all your reading groups using the Daily 5 method. And no, I'm not the creator of the Daily 5, but I would love to work for them because I talk about the Daily 5 and every aspect of this channel, whether it's how to structure your literacy block or even math stations, because I have videos on that as well. And today I want to break down how to use the Daily 5 to make your life easier as a classroom teacher as we head back to school. And I know you're going to love all the tips I'm going to share with you today. I first want to say that Daily 5 is how you structure your literacy block, and it's not the instruction. So many times I've heard people say, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? It can't be tier 1 instruction. But what I've learned is that most people that don't understand what Daily 5 is, and they've jumped all into the science of reading, which is great. I totally am a firm believer in the science of reading. They don't realize it's more of a management tool, and they haven't watched any of my videos, and they don't know how I do it. So as soon as I comment back, well, have you seen any of my videos? I get ghosted, of course, because they don't want to take the time. They just want to be a Karen about it and tell me everything that they know about the science of reading. Cool. I do tier 1 instruction in my classroom, and I'm going to share with you how you can combine all of those things into both your Daily 5 stations and your whole group instruction. But just know that I'm never going to tell you how to teach it is what you're teaching, because again, Daily 5 is for the structure. It's not for instruction. So stick with me. I'm going to get through these tips for you so you're ready for the school year and heading back, and you'll know exactly what you're going to do with Daily 5. So Daily 5, I want you to know, is such a great time saver in your elementary classroom because you're going to be able to get to all your reading groups however you space them out. And recently I hosted a Daily 5 workshop, how to plan your literacy block using the Daily 5 method, and it was a really big hit, and I'm thinking about doing it again. I'll include a waitlist link in the bottom of this video so you can be the first on the waitlist for when I do it again this fall. And the time-saving part of it is so wonderful, and I'm telling you, if there was a day that we didn't get to Daily 5 last year in my 5th grade classroom, my 5th graders were super upset about it because they loved the system and structure of it, and they loved reading groups, which is ultimately why I use Daily 5. It's my vehicle to getting me to being able to teach guided reading groups, and I can incorporate my tier 1 instruction in those groups. I can teach a whole group lesson before we do our stations. There's so much versatility, and you get to do it however you want. That's what I love about Daily 5. I'm going to give you tips of what works well for me in my classroom, and you can totally transform your own classroom doing it how you like. All right, next, students are not just doing busy work. I've gotten like 1 or 2 comments on TikTok about that. Maybe in some people's classroom, but they're not doing busy work up in mine. So I don't know what kind of teacher you are, but I get a little cagey about that, as you could tell, because nobody, like somebody that hasn't watched you teach before and then they're telling you it's all just busy work. I'm like, okay, no, it's not. So usually it's tied to something that they've just learned in a whole group lesson. So it's all streamlined into your day. It's all integrated, and great teachers know how to do that. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you're a great teacher and you're wanting to do that too. So your word work could come from your literacy curriculum from your district, and you could use that during word work time. That's what I do because my district had a big push last year to start implementing their word work system, because this year they're rolling it out. And so I did that ahead of time with an instructional coach, and now I have a whole system in place for that. So you can make it what you want, and don't listen to people that think that you can only do whole group instruction. I just don't believe that they're not pulling small groups. And if they're definitely not pulling small groups, then I don't know how they could possibly meeting the individual needs of their students consistently. Just my personal opinion. Okay, so to go along with that, tier 1 instruction can happen at any point. You could do a whole group instruction ahead of time so that everybody's getting the same lesson, and then you're pulling groups in between. You can align what your book clubs are doing with your district's curriculum. You could also, I've heard some really nice person on TikTok commented that they like to do whole group instruction between their stations. So like they might have like 2 different mini lessons, which I think is fantastic. Like you can dice up your literacy block however works best for your students. And a lot of transitions we know, especially with our younger learners, they do so much better with that because they're not sitting the whole time. All right, the next one is you can teach whole group too. Like I said, I've said that throughout this video actually. Whole group is however you want to teach it. If you're doing a whole group phonics instruction like foundations, of course you're going to do that whole group, but then there might be things in your small group that you do as a warm up in your reading group. So say they're doing CVC words together, whole group, and then you've got a couple kids that are still really struggling with it, and you pull them in their small group before they dive right into their reading. So there's lots of ways to structure it. If you missed my Daily 5 workshop on how to plan your literacy block for the fall, don't worry. I'm going to host it again in a couple months. I'm not exactly sure yet when I'm going to do that. I think probably end of September because that's when teachers are going to want to implement the system. So make sure you put your name on the wait list. I'll leave that in the description box below. And go ahead and check out my entire Daily 5 playlist. You can binge watch that and get ready for the school year. And also know that I have an entire product suite inside of my TPT store dedicated to helping you implement the Daily 5 inside your classroom and make your life so much easier. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.